Good morning, Carl. There you go. Speaking Hungarian again. You know Mr. Kriza doesn't like it. We are Americans, you know.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Miss Kriza. You tell me every time, and I forget. Next time, I remember.
All right, just a minute. What?
Yes, son?
Don't keep the children too long. Breakfast in 20 minutes.
Oh, we're nearly through. Well, children, once more. Hands up. Judy, hands up. Uh-huh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then down, touch the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Julie, hands up.
She can't, Papa. The button's off again.
Oh. Buttons off, pin up. La la li li li. 1, 2, tra la la, li li li. Now in your places. Now, Paul, stop dreaming.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
Well, you mustn't forget, Paul. How are you going to be a great musician if you don't keep time?
Make a portrait for this one, Papa.
1, 2, 3, 4. Bend down, touch the floor. 1, 2, out, in. Exercises keep us fit. 1, 2, out, in. Falling stomach, stick out, chin. Julie, Mitzi, Victor, Paul. Exercise is good for all. 1, 2, 1, 2. Tra-la-la-la. And now we're through. Good morning, Anna. What do you think, Anna? The lake or the mountains this year? Now vacations at the bank start soon.
You know you love the mountains, Papa. Not so much in your mouth at once, Victor.
Oh, I went to the mountains last year. I think this year you should decide. Paul, drink your milk, don't drink.
The lake would be nice. Wouldn't you like to wet your toesies, Julie?
Lake would be lovely. Nice and cool with breezes blowing at night. Now we could sit outside and Paul could play his violin for us.
That's a fine vacation, listening to Paul fiddle.
No one is speaking to you, Victor. You eat your breakfast. Mitzi, elbows. Of course, I did think if we should happen to go to the mountains again, I mean, not that I want to influence you, Anna, but if you should happen to choose the mountains, I thought perhaps would be a little extravagant and buy a camping outfit.
Camping? Geez, that would be great.
Of course, if you're sure that we could afford a camping outfit.
Then it's settled. We go to the mountains. Mitzi, you're cheap. I've got the catalogs down at the bank.
Hey, that's my Paul.
Now,
Paul, Victor.
What is the meaning of this? Fighting at a table. Aren't you ashamed of yourselves? Who started it?
He took my toes.
That's no excuse to fight, Victor.
You're the oldest, Paul. You should set an example. You shouldn't have hit back.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I just wasn't thinking. You never think. You just dream and moon all the time.
That'll do, Victor. Paul dreams because he's a musician.
You do humor him on that account, Paul. If he grows up completely spoiled, it'll be your fault.
That settles it. Come, Paul.
Oh, no, Paul, you mustn't punish him.
Never shall it be said that I spoil any of my children. should be yelling.
Papa, please, don't quit! Papa, stop! No, not hurt! Papa!
Louder.
Papa, don't!
That's loud enough.
Go and finish your breakfast, young man.
Just a moment, young man. An extra half-hour practice before you go to school. And as... And where do you think you're going?
Do you realize the time, Anna?
I'll be late at the bank for the first time in 20 years.
Silly old goose.
Anna, then everything is forgiven.
Oh, no, it isn't. You're just as much to blame as little Paul.
Oh, but
and
Mama.
you shall be punished, too.
But Anna, darling.
Oh, yes. No cigar.
No cigar.
No cigar.
Oh, but Mama.
No cigar.
Good morning, Mr. Kriza.
Good morning, Mr. Kriza.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kriza.
Timothy.
Good morning, Mr. Kriza.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Hansel.
Good morning, Mr. Hansel. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Hansel.
Timothy. Good morning, Mr. Hansel. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Mr. Hansel.
You are late, Mr. Varno, for the third time this week.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kriza. I overslept.
Overslept again? Have you ever tried going to bed earlier?
Well, I wasn't feeling well.
No, I don't want to be severe with you, Mr. Varno, but when a man is employed by a bank, he sells not only his time, but something more important. His character, his good habits, his respect for the trust that is placed in him.
Can't see what being a few minutes late has to do with all that.
It isn't just being late so often that is against you, Mr. Varno. It is the cause of your being late. What do you do with your time away from the bank?
I think that's my business.
No, Mr. Varno. When your private life affects your character, it is the bank's business. Perhaps you'll be happier somewhere else. Oh, the stamps.
Give me my balance up to date. Yes,
Timothy,
Yes, sir?
come here. Here's your salary, Timothy. $5. What do you do with this money?
I give it to my mother.
All of it?
Yes, sir.
And what do you do for spending money?
My mother gives me 25 cents a week.
Not very much, is it?
No, sir.
You must sometimes run a little short.
Yes, sir.
And then what do you do? You borrow it, perhaps?
Yes, and I'll pay it back, too.
Timothy. Sit down, Timothy. It's a dreadful thing to be a thief.
A thief? But I said I'd pay it back. Besides, it was only 50 cents.
How old are you, Timothy?
I'm 14.
Well, about 30 years ago, a boy 10 years old went to work for this bank for only $2 a week. Little boy grew up. And one day, the people in the bank gave him a present. A beautiful gold watch. With something written inside the case. Wouldn't you like to read what it said inside?
Presented to Paul Kriza. In recognition of 25 years of faithful service by the officers of the Windsor National Bank.
Someday you may have a watch like this, Timothy. But not if you take money out of the stamp box.
I'll never do it again, Mr. Kriza. Honest, I won't.
I'm sure of that. Now, look. I put 50 cents back in the stamp box. You'll pay me 5 cents a week. And we tell no one.
Gee, thanks, Mr. Kriza.
Timothy, 50. Newspaper, 5. No cigar. Amusements.
Awards. You and Mitzi dance this time, Paul. But be careful, don't bump into people. We have this one together, Anna.
Paul,
Yes?
won't you dance with me a little?
With who then am I dancing?
The children.
Oh, Han, I'm so sorry. Now I dance just with you, by ourselves.